Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. We have another great video for you guys and gals today. I'm extremely excited. The Slayer team over here has been putting in endless hours to make the best quality content for you possible. I do got to share something though before we jump into this video. I was originally going to record this video a lot earlier, right? Because I have a daughter, she's 6 months old. So I try to knock my stuff out in the morning so I can spend as much time with her as possible. But there was a problem. I edit my thumbnails before I record the videos, just kind of getting an idea what it looks like so I can envision it while I'm recording it. And I, I have an office, right? My office is separate than my living area. It's separate. And in my office, I saw a gigantic wolf spider. And I mean gigantic. And the worst problem was it was at a very awkward angle. So as we tried to get it down, the spider fell, and it was big enough where like it hopped. And I couldn't go back in my office to finish the video. I'm sorry. I was too shooken up. I hate spiders. And you guys know, if you guys live in the Midwest, like, they're big. They're not just little dainty spiders. This thing, if it bites you, it's going to do some damage. So I finally feel comfortable enough to be back in my office and to make this video. So anyways, we have a good video in store. I promise this video is going to have entertaining qualities, educational qualities, and informational qualities to it. I have a couple different articles. It might be a longer video today. First article, silver shines brighter than gold. Gold's glitter as investors have a dream run. It's an interesting headline. We'll dive more into that. And we also have the short-term outlook for silver, which is poor, but PSLV offers long-run potential. And I'm going to dive into that one in the end. Just to wrap up, I think it's going to be a great way to wrap up the video because there is a lot of skepticism. There's a lot of FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And I really just want to share my perspective, right? I'm never trying to tell you to buy silver just because I want you to. I'm not trying to just be a silver pumper. There's reasons why I think the way I, there's reasons behind my points. A silver pumper, no matter what's happening, no matter what the charts look like, no matter what is happening to the price, they're just going to say buy silver, buy silver, buy silver. And that's a silver pumper, right? I try to make my videos as realistic as possible. Meaning, yes, I'm long on silver. Yes, I'm very bullish on silver, but I'm also going to explain what the markets are doing regardless of my opinion. So I'm going to show the ugly, right? Yesterday I made a video talking about something that's going to hurt silver prices in the future, as photovoltaic cells and solar panels won't be needed as much because they found a replacement. So that's going to hurt silver demand. And I made that video, right? I want to show you guys all angles of the markets, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I want you guys to have a realistic perspective, because that's going to affect how you invest, right? I'm trying to make you become the most profitable investor. So if I purposely leave out information because I want you to only see the market as a certain way, then that's wrong on my part, and I can't do that. I want us to all have the utmost pristine information to make our stacking strategy as profitable as can be. Now, with that said, a lot of people are wondering why silver, not gold. I've talked about it several times. Basically, silver is more affordable, there's more potential, it's more volatile, and I see a lot of hope with silver. Gold as well, but silver is just more explosive. Now, this article is going to dive into why it still is brighter than gold, even though silver is in a pretty rough spot right now. So I think it's going to be interesting to break this article down, especially applying this to today's terms with so many factors that could go against or for silver. Time is really just waiting out, right? It's in limbo mode. What it really depends on is who wins the election. So a near perfect storm had been brewing for the industry. Finally, the raft of factors has come together and resulted in an undirectional move in silver prices over the last few months. With prices hitting multi-year highs, the silver rally has outsmarted gold prices and stumped commodity traders while making it one of the best commodities for the year. And it definitely has percentage-wise, 65% jump from March to August. That's incredible, especially for a precious metal, right? That sounds like something that Bitcoin would do or Tesla stocks, right? So macroeconomic factors are pushing investment in precious metals. While bonds have lost their appeal, the weak economy has pushed investments in silver and gold. Investors now believe that the central bank could be expanding the stimulus program, which could make their currency lose value. The more money they try to throw at the economy to keep it afloat, the more profitable gold and silver is going to be. Weakening dollar means higher silver prices. And this is the case with both ways. If the dollar index is down, gold and silver go high. If the dollar index is high, gold and silver are going to go down. Anyways, from the closing low of $11.72 in March, on March 18th, the silver continuous contract on NYMEX has risen over 100%. With prices hardening with every passing month, silver bars have been in a very short supply, and that's to say the least. And that's not just bars. The U.S. ran out of American Eagles. And there's a lot more to the supply and demand side to things that's really going on behind the scenes. That's a whole nother video, but if you want to check, all you gotta do is check out my channel. You'll see the videos. But that's a very important thing. I don't want to just brush over that because it is extremely important to understand what's happening to the supply and the demand. So it is not often that the glitter of gold pales in comparison to silver. 2020 is proving to be just that year. The stars are aligning, the perfect storm is here. If a poll of 42 analysts carried out by Reuters journalists holds true for 2021, prices could average the $20 an ounce mark. Unless there is an increase in output or fall in demand, prices could be expected to remain firm. And you would say, 2021, average $20 mark, that's all right. You got to remember this. Silver was $11 in March. Also, last year, silver was $15 for most of the year. And with $20 an ounce saying firm, I still think that's extremely minimal. I still think that's a very low perspective, a low forecast. And then you have the obvious, right? The presidential election is going to kick things off. But the most profound thing is still coming from demand. And that is, and the second article I think goes a little into that. It actually does. That's why I picked it out. Because what happened with photovoltaics is they found a way to use way less silver for the solar panels. And as the green revolution expands, we're going to need a lot of solar energy, solar panels for cars, houses, whatever the case is, right? So all that 5G technology, solar panels, and electric vehicles were the three things that are going to really push silver demand up. But now one of the three things is going to be getting cut back. But that's not the case necessarily to hurt silver demand, to hurt the percentage. It will a little bit, but as prices rise, single investors, individual investors start piling money into it because everyone wants a slice of the silver pie. And also 5G's been bumping up, and that's stuff we're going to talk about later on. So just because this is happening doesn't mean it's going to shoot the market down like some people would say. There's a lot more on the table you have to look at than just saying, oh, silver demand is going to be down from solar panels. Don't buy it. The market's going to be crap. That's so not true. And there's the unknown factors, right? No one could have predicted this year that there'll be a global pandemic, so all the price forecasts from last year are way off. So anyways, demand volatility, stay firm. Retail investors are pouring money into ETFs to ride the rally. iShares Silver Trust SLV has been among the star ETFs, which prices are up well over 100% from the low seen in March. And that's pretty good, right? Up over 100% from the low in March. The Aberdeen Standard Physical Silver Shares ETF has moved up over 50% year to date, while the ProShares Ultra Silver ETF has slightly been had better returns given the SIVR. The factors playing out in the commodity markets and ETFs have also rubbed off on the companies. The core mining stock, which owns silver and gold mines, have recouped all losses after the sell-off seen in the first quarter. Silver has traditionally been a volatile commodity, high in demand during the days of inflation during the 1970s, when inflation had hit double digits in the U.S. Silver prices had hit a lifetime high of $49. $49. That was the first time when the Hunt brothers cornered the market, right? Over 200 million ounces in metal. 1979 price started at $6 an ounce, ended up at $32 an ounce, and then 1980, $50 an ounce. Same thing happened 2008. You had the credit crisis, the financial crisis. Then over a 3 year period, silver went to $49. So there's always a really bad start. $6 back then. Today in March, $11. Back in 1980, I think it was $9. So there's always a very rough start, but that's what kicks off everything. And people are speculating this March low was the kickoff, and it already rallied 65% in a couple months. So, the proof is in the pudding that something's happening. The short-term outlook for silver is poor, but PSLV offers long-run potential. And I think this is going to be another a great article that we're going to break down, because it does cover a lot of things that we currently didn't cover in the first part of the article, right? All these articles are written on a day-to-day basis. I'm always giving you the newest articles fresh off the press. Both of these articles were written today or yesterday at the latest. So everything we're talking about is extremely relevant in the market. So silver is driven by inflation expectations, which are currently declining due to a lack of monetary and fiscal stimulus. A significant, and let's stop right there actually. I know I stop a lot in my videos, but there's so much content, there's so much context, there's so many things happening, especially in these articles that they're very condensed into just subject. I don't want to skip over anything because there's a lot to be said in one sentence, and I don't want to skip over that, especially as I'm trying to break this stuff down for you guys to really comprehend and see from all different angles. That would be I guess lacking on my end. So silver is driven by inflation expectations, which are currently declining due to a lack of monetary and fiscal stimulus. So it's driven by inflation, we know that, but it's declining, and that's due to the monetary and fiscal stimulus. So less stimulus, but in the last article they said that there still might be going through. So there's still a lot up in the air, and it probably does depend who's winning the presidential election as well, and when all this stuff settles. So a significant increase in inflation expectations is unlikely to occur until companies, households, and potential governments are pulled into default and debts loaded or reduced. And like I just said, right, it's kind of in limbo right now. So the outlook for inflation expectations over the next few months is poor, so investors may want to avoid silver for now. Long-term investors may be better off with PSLV, SLV, since it's far easier to redeem shares for physical silver, which reduces counterparty risk. Now, if you are into that stuff, definitely take note of that and incorporate that into your decision making, whether you're buying, selling, holding, or trading. But as you should be, I hope you are. I can't tell you that you should, but I hope you are investing in the physical metal. You don't have to really worry about that stuff. But I do want to say, make sure if you are looking to sell anytime soon, just remember not to sell all at once. And remember that not all your silver should be sold at one place. Okay, let's go on. Silver has had one of the most volatile years on record. It began the year by losing a third of its value during the pandemic crash, but since doubled in value. This has caused many to believe the metal is in a long-awaited bull market that will send it to an all-time high. Indeed, and that's what I was talking about earlier. While silver is much more expensive than it's been over the past 5 years, it still is about 50% below its high of $48 an ounce. And you got to remember that. Gold is sitting around its all-time high ever. Silver isn't even half of that. So there's a lot of catching up to do. Silver's explosive run still hasn't happened, and it always does compared to gold because it is gold's little brother. And it's more volatile than gold. So if gold did that, silver is going to do it tenfold. And that's because it's a smaller market. So this guy says he became extremely bullish on silver since the mid-March crash. And he quotes stuff that he wrote about it. Silver is not nearly as cheap as it used to be today, and has seen negative volatility recently. Evidence suggests its short-term outlook is not great, but the metal still may have be a long-term winner. And that's the part I wanted to really talk about wrapping this video up. The day-to-day prices are irrelevant, especially if you're not selling right now. Right? Why would you get mixed up and all worried if you're not planning on selling for another 10, 15, 20 years down the line? If you live if you live with that mindset on a day-to-day basis, in 15, 20 years, you're going to go crazy. In less than that, in a year, you're going to go crazy. Because think about it. If you're not planning on selling, then the price right now doesn't matter. So if you're worried and all worked up about a day-to-day price when it doesn't affect you, you're literally just getting frustrated and flustered and worried for no reason. In 15 if in 10, 15 years from now, if the price does it then that makes sense. But right now, if you're not planning on selling, then who cares? It just means it's cheaper silver for now. Because trust me, in 10, 15 years, the markets are going to do so many different things that right now it literally won't, it's irrelevant to you. So, and a lot of people can't look at it that way. It's unfortunate because there's so much opportunity and potential, but it's really easy to get distracted or lose faith, especially with all the controversy and all the chaos going on. So, anyways, they talk a little bit about stimulus, inflation, all that stuff. So I really want to go into some other stuff that's actually relevant. I mean, all of this is relevant, but just some highlights that I want to talk about that I think is important. So definitely write down here. Silver is still okay for long-run investors, and I'm a long-run investor. Most of you guys are as well. I've done polls on my channel, asking how long or when do you plan on selling, and it's usually several years down the line. For retirement. I don't plan on selling for 15, 20 years. I'm 28 years old, so I have a long way in my stacking journey, and I definitely think in that time frame, 2 decades from now, the markets are going to be extremely different. Times will be extremely different. The dollar, everything's going to be different. So you have to adjust and adapt. You have to adjust. If I keep stacking 20 years from now with the same mindset I have now, I'm sure I'll be losing a lot of money. So I'm going to have to adapt with the market. So overall, he's bearish on silver. At least do not expect silver to make new highs until the year's over. After the election, many things may change, and unexpectedly, potentially. That's what I've kept saying. It could be very good or very bad for silver, but since silver is a safe haven metal, capitalizes off of chaos, it's probably going to be a booster for silver. So if this is your long-term view, physical silver may be a better bet than silver, gold, or gold ETFs and monetary volatility. And the physical silver, which is not only backed by physical silver, but allows investors to exchange the fund of delivered physical silver. Don't make it more confusing than it already is, right? Go to AppMex, click buy. Your silver arrives at your doorstep. Put it in a safe. Put it in a safety deposit box. Bury it in your backyard. Who cares? It's a lot safer than owning it in some bank vault around the world with some third-party custodian you don't even know his first name, right? So here's the bottom line. So the bottom line, overall, he does not have a bullish outlook on silver over the next few months. Silver more than gold is almost entirely driven by inflation expectations. And there's something I want to bring up real quick as well. The next few months, what's going to happen? Not only just the presidential election, but what else? What else? Right? Easter, Black Friday, Christmas. These are when all the deals are. This is when I buy the majority of my silver. Is Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I always buy the most silver around this time of year. So I hope prices stay low, because then I can use those advantages to buy even more silver. So if silver is going to pick up the pace, I definitely want it to wait so I can stack even more ounces than I already have. And that's just taking advantage of the situation. It's glass half full instead of glass half empty. So, anyways, there's a lot of stuff going on, and like I said, and like this article said, it really depends on the election, who wins. But long story short, silver has a long way to go, and hopefully you're taking advantage from all aspects of it. Right now, take advantage of the markets. They're cheap. Buy more silver. In the future, maybe you'll have to trade or sell or hold. Holding is just as important as all the previous three. A lot of people overlook holding, right? Holding is important. It's a strategy. Just because you're holding doesn't mean you're doing anything, doesn't mean you're on the sidelines. You're still doing a strategy. And because if you're always buying, selling, or trading, that might not be the best strategy. You don't always have to be doing something in the market. Holding is just as important. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was educational, informational, or at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. The links to these two articles will be in the description. If you enjoyed the video today from the Slayer team, which is yours truly, me, then definitely like the video. I hope you're subscribed. I try to make the best quality content. Hopefully you guys notice that my content has been more focused on quality than quantity. I'm really trying hard to grow this channel, to give you guys great content, and also to really get the message across on what's happening in the markets, and what you should do about it, because that's the whole primary focus of this channel, is to make sure you guys, after watching my video, have a better stacking strategy and a more profitable one. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.